Salute, salute. Salute to the internal, indigenous, spiritual, most high. Trolls only God and your mama can love you. Last but not least, y'all know. One time. Yeah. All right. And in remembrance of my brother, Jimmy McNair. Here we go. Where's me gold? I needs me shillings so I control. And I'm not really here to troll. And I knew I was missing my pillow, y'all. Bear with me. Knew I was missing my pillow. All right. I'm not really here to troll unless I need to troll. I'm just really here to, take a trip down memory lane with history, history that a lot of us may not know of, never heard of, that type of thing. And at this point, man, gonna do my thing. So I find it very interesting that lots of people find it to be laughable when we talk about, indigenous Black tribes here in America. Everyone, for some reason, associates us with Africa. Never understood why. So today, I was actually going to touch on that a little bit more. I had some things lined up just to kind of give us an idea of what has transpired throughout time, throughout history, and why it's important to actually have knowledge of these things. All right. Nothing racial. It's not even a racial conversation. It's just history that happened, history that wasn't taught in school. And that's my basis. All right. So, with no further ado, I think I'm going to touch on the Dawes Rose Acts first, which means I don't need this. Salute. You know what? Instead of jumping right in, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun real quick, y'all. Here's a story I was gonna do a video on, but since I'm already here, let's warm up first. Let's warm up. Right there.
And their family who had to flee their home without nothing due to the escalation of war here in Lebanon.
A cop that we reported on a while ago in Indisputable, who did the horrendous thing of giving an unsheltered human being a sandwich with excrement in it, bragged about it. Well, he has now been promoted to position of police chief. Put him up full mass. This cop gave an excrement sandwich. That's the best way we can put it. It's disgusting. It's inhumane. It's immature. It's evil. It's corrupt. That cop has not been hired as a police chief. Disgraced San Antonio cop who was fired by San Antonio 2 times for allegedly giving an unsheltered man a sandwich stuffed with dog feces is now being promoted in another town in Texas to chief. Matthew Luckhurst was promoted to police chief about 150 miles south of San.
I don't want to laugh. This isn't a laughing matter. But to think that a cop is doing this, it's it's sad, but it's laughable. It's like, how can you be a police and be so unthoughtful, if that's a word, You're supposed to serve and protect, but you're out here like taking advantage of the homeless. Like these people are really hungry, and you're scooping up dog feces and putting it between white bread and giving it to homeless people. And then you get he was promoted to police chief about 150 miles south of San Antonio 3 years after the department hired him, despite his past, according to city records and reports. He took over his new role on June 1st after city council members voted to appoint him as the area's top cop during an April 30th meeting, the San Antonio Current report. Okay, there's about to be a lot more homeless people eating a lot more dog poop sandwiches 150 miles away in Benavides. I mean, this guy is definitely feeding the homeless. He's just not feeding them what they desire, so to speak. I don't know how this is crazy. I wanted to share this story with y'all, man. I thought this was the craziest story right here. Let's get some more on them. I'll speed this up a little bit. Oh. All right.
San Antonio, 3 years after the department hired him, despite his past conduct, according to city records and reports. He took over his new role on the 1st of June after city council members voted to appoint him as the area's top cop during an April 30th meeting, the San Antonio Current reported. Now, you would imagine a human being who's willing to do something that ridiculous, extreme, unprovoked, somebody who's willing to do that, he has a history. This person has a history. Let's talk about the history. The first incident occurred in 2016 that we know of. When the current chief, then a San Antonio bike patrol officer, was accused of giving a homeless man, unsheltered man, a sandwich containing dog feces. That's according to police records. Fellow officers reported the incident. Other cops turned him in for this. During an arbitration hearing, Chief Luckhurst acknowledged handing the man a tray containing bread and dog feces, but maintained he intended for the man to throw it away rather than eat it. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus called the incident, quote, a vile and disgusting act that violates our guiding principles. He didn't believe him. The chief didn't believe him, okay? So he comes up with this ridiculous story after he's turned in by the cops for bragging about what he had done. He literally told the cops, I went and I put the feces, he scooped it up and put it in the sandwich. He bragged about the process and put it right next to the guy and acted as if it was a benevolent offering. That's evil. That is straight inhumane. There's more. The Chief Luckhurst, later became the focus of a second investigation through Internal Affairs after a female officer requested that the women's restroom at a police substation, be kept clean. The investigators allege that current Chief Luckhurst and another cop intentionally defecated in a toilet without flushing the toilet and then smeared what police records described as, quote, a brown substance with the consistency of,
Would I be wrong to say that this guy's a piece of Would I be wrong in saying that this guy is a piece of God dang it. This is a God dang, what's wrong with your mind, homie? Who plays in all day? This guy has a thing for. Oh my God. He need a mental health check, man. Whoa. Oh my God, I can't. Luckhurst later became the focus of a second internal investigation for a female officer requested that the women's restroom at a police substation be kept clean. Investigators alleged that Luckhurst and another officer intentionally defecated in the toilet without flushing and smeared what police records describe as, oh my God. Oh my God. And I was just about to eat, man. I had some oatmeal and some boiled eggs and stuff ready to go. And I think I just lost my appetite. I don't know why the heck I read this story right here. I wasn't thinking logically. Um, yeah, I just ruined my own appetite, y'all. I don't know why I did this right here. I don't know why I did this. This is filthy. And he's a police chief that plays in poop all day. Poop head.
on the toilet seat. So this sounds sadistic. Sounds like he has some kind of fantasy about feces. It doesn't have to be dog feces. It can be human feces. He recruited a coworker to defecate in the women's bathroom because a cop had the audacity to say,
Wait, let's think about this for a minute. Y'all know I'm stupid. How do you recruit a fellow a fellow cop member, a fellow colleague who wears a badge like you? How do you recruit him? Hey man, I'm recruiting you to come defecate in the women's bathroom without flushing. We're gonna smear it everywhere. I'd be like, wait, what? Bruh, I would have had my body cam on, boy. I would have got him busted, boy. I would have got him busted. You are recruiting me to come. No, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Sir, are you okay? Do you need to take the day off? Real talk, man. These are the things you don't expect from law enforcement. I mean, I don't expect this from no one in and out of law enforcement. Like, there is definitely something wrong with this picture. There is definitely something wrong with this guy's mind and how he's rolling. You know what I mean? There is definitely something wrong. How do you recruit somebody, man, to go drop a couple in the women's restroom without flushing? You're gonna turn around and that is disgusting, man. I was just about to eat, man. Oh boy, I need to. Man, why did I do this to myself, man? I so wanted that oatmeal and boiled eggs, but I so don't want it now. Oh boy, yeah, that's pretty terrible right there. That's pretty terrible, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I can continue this story. Y'all get the gist of it, right? I just don't want to go back into that. Don't want to go back into that. All right, that was pretty terrible, pretty terrible. All right, next up, I have what was going to be a video too. Okay. Again, y'all, not here, all right, to cause any division. So I'm not going to deal with any racism on the channel. That's out. If we got to be racist and things like that, you don't need to be here. You'll be blocked, dealt with, and we're going to move on from this point forward. All right, let's go here. Let's go here.
That happened a little over 2 months ago on April the 24th.
No, because we're not going to do that.
All right, fair use, educational purposes. This is Brother Richard Taylor right here. Brother Richard Taylor right here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, W man shot after attacking, you know what I'm saying, a melanated man in sundown of Kingman, Arizona. All right, fair use, educational purposes. Y'all go subscribe to Taylor House Publishing. Again, this is Big Dog Richard Taylor right here. Big Dog Richard Taylor right here, y'all putting in work. Yeah. Let's get it. Let's see what happened. Okay, man. Turn this on a little faster as well so we can get the gist of it. But we're going to get into this history stuff too, y'all. We're going to get into it. Let's see what had happened.
Yo, bro, me and you, don't worry. I remember everything you said.
No, because we're not gonna do that.
Yo, bro, me and you, don't worry. I remember everything you said.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. This incident happened a little over 2 months ago on April the 24th, 2026. Now, I was given this information by Mr. Booth's wife. She reached out to me and she sent me the police report where several witnesses say that this man, Jeremiah Myers, who had previously antagonized her husband at that previous location, followed him and harassed him at the grocery store, waited outside for him to come outside, and then attacked him, causing our dear brother to stand his ground and shoot the attacker twice. Now, of course, he was arrested and he is currently in jail under several charges. And according to his wife, they are trying to get him to take a plea deal. However, you're going to find out that they really don't have a case. Now, how did this situation start? You're going to see where it is alleged that Jeremiah Myers' wife, the white guy's wife, tried to holler at the young brother right here, Jermaine Booth. And as you see from previous interactions, the pink man didn't take too kindly to it. And so he had addressed them at that location at a mutual friend's house. And then he saw him at the Smith store. Now, several people witnessed the incident. Now, I'm going to read you some testimonies from police statements about what witnesses said. Now, here you see on the third to the last paragraph, he said, now this is the police officer, Officer Benita. He says, I viewed the video. Booth and Myers are observed to be arguing. Two other men were near Booth. Myers approaches Booth and strikes him in the face with a punch. Booth immediately then shoots Myers once. Myers backs away and Booth shoots him again. Myers retreats back further and faster, and Booth chases him. I was unable to ascertain if Booth fired again. Now, this is the cop who viewed this right on scene right after the shooting, where this man struck Booth in the face after following him in the store and out of the store, waiting on him and antagonizing him. But let's read further. Myers was transported to KRMC by AMR. The scene was then secured, and I conferred with all officers on the scene, where I learned that Booth and Myers agreed to meet at Smith to fight over an issue centered around Myers' wife. They met in the store and argued, then met in the parking lot where they argued again. Booth was in the company of two friends. Myers, during the parking lot argument, struck Booth with a fist, and then Booth then shot Myers twice. Now, there's another account of another officer learning what happened. Now, according to Booth's wife, Molly, they did not agree to meet. There was no planned fight. Booth was going to the grocery store to get some groceries, and then that is when he encountered the man who accused him, as you're going to see, of groping his wife. Some of the witness said on this scene, which corroborates with the video.
Okay. I'm kind of lost on this one. Right here, you know. Got to keep people out of your affairs. You know what I mean? And we got to stop the violent stuff, man. Women, stop setting these men up like this. Men, stop setting these women up like this. In the words of Rodney King, can't we all just get along? You know what I mean? Can't we all just get along? This is crazy. This is a crazy story. This is like listening to like stories from Tales of the Hood or something. You know what I mean? I know y'all remember Tales from the Crypt. I think they had a Tales from the Hood. You know what I mean? Tonight's Tales from the Hood. You know, this is bad. This is drama nobody needs, man. Move on. Yeah, love hurts. But doing time hurts even worse. You know what I mean? Because ain't no moving on once you locked up, unless you don't move on with the same sex. And listen, that is not applicable. Not for me. You know what I'm saying? Not for me. I ain't gonna be limited to just watching female CEOs walk around here. No, I want to be out here where the women at. You know what I'm saying? So it's better just to move on, man, rather than set yourself up for failure. Emotions run high. People do messed up things. People are screwed up altogether. All of us got demons. You know what I mean? All of us got demons. So we just got to know how to exercise those demons, man, and get gone. You know what I mean? Suppress them demons. That's what it's about. I'm boiling my eggs, y'all. In case you're wondering, I'm boiling my eggs. Got to suppress. J Dub, what's good? What's good, J Dub? But let's see what the witnesses say. Let's see what the witnesses say, y'all. Let's check it out. Let's see what the witnesses say.
Now, this witness is obviously lying. This witness Wood said she was in the parking lot and witnessed 3 black males verbally arguing with a white male in the parking lot. Wood said one black male swung at the white male, and then the black male pulled out a gun, fired at least 3 shots, and at least 1 shot struck the white male. Now, that doesn't corroborate what the video says. Let's look further down. Bernard said she was at the Smith Fuel Pump getting gas on her vehicle when she heard the yelling and commotion in the parking lot across from where she was. Immediately took out her phone and video recorded the incident. Now, that is the one who recorded the incident. Now, here's another witness. And I spoke to Robert Gale. In essence, he told me the following. Gale said he was in the parking lot and witnessed 3 black men and a white man verbally yelling at each other. Gale said he saw one black man become physical with the white male, at what time the black man pulled out a gun and fired at least 3 shots towards the white man. Now, once again, they have the incident on video. So these 2 witnesses are obviously probably white, and they're lying because, of course, the black man always has to be guilty. But let's go to the witnesses who corroborate what was seen on the video. Now, let's look at Brandy down here. Brandy stated the following in essence, that she observed the fight, that a white male was antagonizing 3 black males, one being Jermaine, in the parking lot, that Jeremiah was focused on Jermaine, that Jeremiah then attempts to strike Jermaine with his fist, that Jermaine then pulls out a firearm and shoots Jeremiah, that she doesn't know what happened to the other 2 black males. Now let's read this next statement. Now she says she worked for the Smith, that she was on the east side of the parking lot near the cart return in the store, that she observed the entire interaction, that both Jeremiah and Jermaine were yelling at each other, that there were 2 other black males with Jermaine, that the 2 other black males were trying to de-escalate Jeremiah and Jermaine, that Jeremiah got into Jermaine's face, that Jermaine pulled out a firearm and shot Jeremiah. Now that also corroborates the story, except...
Wait a minute. Don't y'all know y'all don't mess with black guys named Jermaine? Don't y'all know that? They are supernaturally strong. Every Jermaine, I don't even know a light skin. I know one light-skinned Jermaine. The rest of them dark. You know what I'm saying? And the light-skinned Jermaine I know, well, he's about my size. All the other dark-skinned, jet black, or slick colored Jermaines that I know, there are some huge brothers. You know what I'm saying? They built like King Kong and Mighty Joe Young. And why you go messing with Jermaine, man? Listen, I know y'all know about Pookie and Ray Ray, Lil Flea and Tick Tick and all them boys from the hood. But y'all don't mess with Jermaine, man. Y'all don't mess with Jermaine. Jermaine quiet, but Jermaine crazy. I'm just saying. Jermaine is quiet, and think of the Jermaines that y'all know. You know what I'm saying? Jermaine is quiet, but Jermaine is crazy. You know, that boy switch gears like a Bugatti. Don't. Y'all leave Jermaine alone. Just for future reference, if you ever run into a big black guy by the name of Jermaine, just respect him. That is someone you want on your team. You know what I mean? Just respect him. That's all I'm saying. Public service announcement. Respect the Jermaines.
Jeremiah hitting him. Black stated she was in a vehicle southeast of the altercation. She heard 2 males yelling and arguing, that she heard gunshots, that she observed Jeremiah fall over, that she heard Jermaine say, "I told you not to do that." What does that remind you of? That's right, Carmelo Anthony. Told you not to put your hands on me. Here is Jessica. She was parked at Smith's, that she was walking towards the store when she heard subjects yelling at each other, that one of the subjects yelling was the male that suffered the gunshot wound.
Wait a minute.
That the other subject was a male in all white clothes.
Wait a minute. Jeremiah, how you got a biblical name like Jeremiah and you trying to run up on somebody that's got a hood name like Jermaine? Jermaine ain't in the Bible. Jermaine is not here to save you. Jermaine ain't going to pray for you. You know what I'm saying? Jermaine going to do exactly what the Bible say do. He going to do what these pastors do. Jermaine going to put hands on you. Jeremiah, you didn't even run up on Jermaine in the Bible. Why you run up on Jermaine now? You should have knew better. You got come on, your name Jeremiah. Jeremiah. And you messing with Jermaine? You know what I'm saying? See, we getting this all wrong. We getting this all wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Getting it all wrong. All right, let's back to the story.
clothing with dreadlocks, Jermaine Booth, that she did not know what they were arguing about or what started the incident, that she heard bam, bam, and pointed to where this occurred almost directly next to where Jeremiah was receiving medical attention. That after the bam, bam, Jeremiah fell backwards, that Jermaine, the male in the all white and the dreadlock, said, "See, I told you that was going to happen." Once again, that is the verbal woman. Let's continue. Here's a one that also corroborates that the shooter was currently in police custody in the patrol truck, Jermaine Booth, that the shooter was wearing all white and had black dreads, that his two friends had drove away prior to police arrival, that the two friends were standing near him when he shot the other male, that during the shooting, she was putting groceries into a vehicle, that her vehicle was parked almost directly next to where the shooting occurred, that she watched the whole thing from approximately 10 feet away, that the guy in all white, Jermaine Booth, and the victim were in an argument, that she did not know what the argument was over, that Jeremiah went to swing and Jermaine grabbed a gun from his waist. Then Jermaine shot him twice. Once again, that agrees with the video. Here is Stephanie. Stephanie says that she did not know what they were arguing about, but the white guy went to throw a punch and got shot. That
Old way, new way. In the old way, you would get a set of
know what this
acrylic
means.
or temporary material teeth that
Y'all know what this means. Y'all know what this means. Of course, y'all know what this means. This means, just like Carmelo Anthony, just like Austin Metcalf, keep your hands to yourself or F around and find out. That is what this means. Another classic case. Now they're going to say, oh, he should have just swung back. Some people have zero tolerance. Everybody's not fighters. And nobody wants to be messed with. And they're telling you not to mess with them. And you're still taking that for a sign of weakness. And you're going to mess with them. Jeremiah, why you had to swing on that man? That man gave you fair warning. He was like, don't do it, Jeremiah. You say, Jeremiah, don't do it. And Jeremiah, don't do it. But Jeremiah didn't listen and had to do it. And Jeremiah got done. You know what I mean? You should have just kept your hands to yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to repeat that. I'm not even going to repeat that. No, I'm not going to repeat that, sir. I'm not going to repeat that. I will not. I'm not going to repeat that. Salute to you, J-Dub. Man. People should just keep their hands to themselves. King Fire, what's good? Grand Rising, try, we out here. Darn right, we out here. You know what I'm saying? We out here telling people to keep their hands to themselves, man. See, now Jeremiah wouldn't even got plugged if he wouldn't have messed with Jermaine. Why Jeremiah trying to run up on Jermaine, man? You cannot be out here with a saved biblical name like Jeremiah. You know what I'm saying? Run up on a thug, a big old black brute. You know what I'm saying? And his name is Jermaine. No, that's not, no. Nope, that ain't even gonna work. That ain't even gonna work. You got to send somebody like Trey to mess with Jermaine. You know what I'm saying? You got to send somebody like little Buckshot Shorty to mess with Jermaine. You can't send Jeremiah. That just don't even sound, it just don't even sound like he can get the job done. You know what I'm saying? Don't even sound like he can get the job done. That's like sending Benjamin to mess with Jermaine. You can't send Benjamin over there. What Benji gonna do? You know what I'm saying? No, man. No, that wasn't even equal opportunity right there. You know, swung on a man, Jeremiah, that man told you not to do it. Keep your hands to yourself. You will get what you get. That's right, King Fire. I agree. I don't know what's wrong with these thugs. I told y'all some people just have zero tolerance for other people touching them, man. And I still can't say that Jermaine was wrong.
That all she heard was Jermaine say, go brush your teeth. Jermaine was jigging on him. That Jeremiah turned around and went back towards Jermaine. That Jeremiah went to throw a punch and Jermaine shot him. That Jermaine drew the firearm from his waistband. That she only heard one shot. So how is he going to smell this man's breath unless he is extremely close to him? Now, here is what the defendant's wife said, whom he called shortly thereafter, or he was on the phone with her when the incident occurs. That she is the wife of Jermaine Booth, that she was at home vacuuming, that her daughter brought her the cell phone, that Jermaine was on the phone, that he stated, Molly, he hit me, that she heard a lot of commotion in the background of the phone call, that the phone call was at 5:29. that in the background she heard mention of a firearm, that she heard sirens, that she heard someone else talking, that she believed to be a witness, that this person stated that someone pulled back like they were going to hit, and then something about a gun. That prior Jermaine had said he was going to be at Smith, that she got her friend to drive to Smith to find him. So once again, that corroborates. Now, here is what the lying victim says. He said he knew the subject, Jermaine. Jermaine had groped his wife while at a party. They met at Smith to fight. He thought it was going to be a fair fight. Jermaine had 2 more people with him. Jermaine antagonized him. As he went at Jermaine, Jermaine shot him. Now, here's what Jermaine told the police. He has had issues with Jeremiah, which you saw from the video. Jeremiah's wife was attempting to flirt with him at a bar previously. He was inside of Smith shopping. Jeremiah approached him and began harassing and threatening him. He left the store and waited outside because he was scared. He re-entered the store to finish shopping with his friends. Jeremiah confronted him again inside the store. Jeremiah would leave and return multiple times. He walked outside the store and Jeremiah confronted him again. Jeremiah punched him on the left side of the face. He removed a .380 pistol from his front pocket and shot Jeremiah. He doesn't remember if the punch made him fall down or if he shot at Jermaine standing up. He did not run. He told Jeremiah not to do that. He placed the gun on the ground. Now, also, here, once again, the poor white victim on the hospital bed is talking to this officer. He says he knows the guys that did this. He has seen him do it to others. The guy had groped his wife at a party a few weeks prior. They continued to challenge him. There were 3 people in the parking lot. The guy pulled out a gun and shot him. And then I asked Jeremiah to break the incident down for a bit more detail while I continue to.
Okay. Now, what the heck is this? All right. Let's go back in time for a minute. Do y'all remember when this thing happened with Chud the Builder? And they had Chud on a stretcher, and Chud was trying to talk to the EMS people, and he was telling them a whole different story about the guy swung on him and this and that, and that's why he had to reach. But then the camera footage shows that even before the guy, you know what I'm saying, swung, you know, that what you call was already reaching for his piece, y'all. You know what I mean? So these people, they'll mess with people and tell lies. These bullies, man, these op agents. You know, we got to change the way we talk on YouTube, y'all. I can't go through another month of not making money and being shadow banned and not having views. So we're not going to deal with all that racism here. If they come in, one racial comment, one racial slur, they're out. They're out. You know what I mean? They're out. And we're going to change the way we talk, because I believe that these platforms have bots, algorithm bots that scan, you know what I mean, what we say. And that can indeed be harming me as well. All right. So it all comes down again to the same thing with this Carmelo Anthony case. Keep your hands to yourself, man. You just can't go around here freely touching people. And it sounds like Jeremiah was being a bit of a bully, just like Austin was. Just like Austin. And, oh man, I found some footage on that from old Eddie Petter, where he said on his own Facebook account that Austin wasn't a bully or nothing, but he was an ish starter and he would always be in fights. Yeah, that came off of old Eddie Petter's page, y'all. Old Eddie Petter. But anyways, that's what I get out of this, man. And then you got people, you know, lying. Of course, friends are going to take up for friends. Family's going to take up for family. You know what I mean? We know how this goes.
Speak with Jeremiah. He relayed the following in essence. Jeremiah.
This machine could change t-shirt printing forever. I printed this t-shirt with the back neck label, sleeve hit.
Jeremiah saw the other male at Smith's. They exchanged words and he feel like he was baited. Oh, he was baited, huh? Jeremiah felt like the guy wanted to shoot him. Jeremiah first saw the male inside of the store. Jeremiah told the other male that he was not going to fight him in the store, and he was with his mom. The guy had lingered around, and Jeremiah felt like he was baited, which Jeremiah left the store. The other guy was sitting outside with his friends. Jeremiah wanted to show that he was not afraid. The other guy's friend asked what happened, and he explained. Jeremiah and the other male began talking ish. The other guy said something. So Jeremiah turned around. Jeremiah took a step towards the other male and threw his hands up. Jeremiah does not know if the other male took that as a threat. The other guy pulled a gun and shot him twice. He desires prosecution for the incident. And so there.
Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. You know, all I take from that is that people lie. That's all I get from that. Is people lie, man. Keep your hands to yourself. Stay away from drama. People are gonna lie. Everybody's gonna take up for their buddies. You know what I mean? We know that there's a code in law enforcement. We know it's a two-tiered justice system. Let it go. Don't even put yourself in that position. All right. I have one more to show, and then we'll get down to business. All right. I got one more clip to show, and y'all go over to Richard Taylor, and y'all go subscribe to Richard Taylor doing the work. You know what I mean? Cherry Shortcake, what's good? What's good? What's good? I think I'm going to be going live like this more often, y'all. My phones are starting to malfunction too now. I think the feds is watching. What y'all know about the oatmeal and the boiled eggs, man? What y'all know about the oatmeal and the boiled eggs, man? Normally I don't eat eggs, but I need the protein. You know, I need the protein. Yeah. Definitely. Got to get that energy. All right, now this next story. Kind of glad I'm doing this live because I was gonna run all these videos, and now y'all saving me. So I ain't gotta run all these videos. I just show them all to you right here. Fair use, educational purposes. Hey man, these stuff is acting real crazy. My phone is doing. Stop. God, dog, you got to talk to this thing to get it to do what you want it to do. All right, let's try this again. Uh-oh, Dougie. That's what I'm talking about. Dougie in the house. Thank you, Dougie. I appreciate that, my man. I can't even Dougie right now. I still got a little Hennessy in my system. Thank you, y'all. Let's put Dougie in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got your own hands, King Fire? Man, listen, man, I need to be doing business with you. I need them eggs. Let's put Dougie in the chat. Grand Rising Brother Uncut on my way to work. Hey, I appreciate that, Dougie. I appreciate that. Dougie. I can always depend on Dougie. Get my Dougie on. Okay, let's see if I can get the right story this time, y'all. All right, here we go.
Police chase the wrong man. They believe he's a black man. He's not black. They believe he's black. And they put bullets inside of his car, inside of his body, and they allow him to completely bleed out while they argue amongst themselves if they even shot. Here it is.
In January, 2 911 callers reported a white van driving erratically, saying 2 black guys were inside and had a gun. Police found a white van. They rammed it twice on purpose, flipped it on its side, and fired 27 shots at the driver. The driver was John Genuine, a white man alone with no gun, not the guys they were supposed to be chasing. And think about it for a second. 27 thought he was black. That's the...
Listen, yeah, 27 shots. Come on, y'all. 27 shots. They definitely thought that brother was black. They definitely thought this 27 shots. 27? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did he fire any rounds? 27, y'all. 27. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 27. God, dog it, boy. Bringing him in alive was not an option. I'm telling you, it was not an option. It wasn't even considered. Boy, you coming in here in a body bag, boy. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got a jail cell waiting for you. We got a freezer in the morgue waiting, boy. We gonna get you, boy. You said you wanted all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get all the smoke. You know what I mean? Man. Let's see what happened, y'all. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is.
Level of excessive force we're talking about here. Only 7 shots hit him. None of them. He bled out slowly inside the burning van. Officers stood outside debating whether they'd even hit him. Nobody called for help. He died over 5 minutes while at least 8 officers watched. Police told his parents over 17 hours later that there'd been an exchange of gunfire. There wasn't. He never fired a shot. He was an engineer driving to fix equipment. 2 of the officers who fired had received awards for distinguished service. One of them got the Department Life-Saving Award. And the same department is facing 2 whistleblower lawsuits for hiring unqualified officers and firing staff who tried to report it. This is what our tax dollars fund. And the authority to kill handed to people who can't even get the basic facts right, then lie to a grieving family about it.
They thought it was black. They recklessly shoot and kill them. They realize their error. They lie to the family. They tell the family it was an exchange of gunfire. There was not. Put it up full mass. These are the allegations, according to The Intercept.
Put it up.
In the early hours of January 6, 20.
Wait a minute. That is some very janky behavior, man. You know what I'm saying? That is some very janky behavior right there, man. 27 rounds, 7 hit him. They thought it's crazy to say they thought he was. That's crazy. That's crazy. See, this is the same type of criminals they call law enforcement, but they really, and they action short. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm with you. Man, this is crazy, man. Y'all see what that says? Police chased the wrong man. You know what I'm saying? Popped him and watched as he bled, y'all. Stood there and rendered no aid. I told y'all, bringing this guy in alive was not an option. But as soon as they find out he wasn't black, and then you're going to contact the family and give them some bogus story. Listen, people know how their loved ones behave. If people got loved ones out here wilding out, you know what I'm saying, that's going to fire rounds on law enforcement. They know when they get those type of phone calls like, hey, yeah, that sounds like something he'll do. But if you can't feed them, you can't feed a family that story when they know that their loved ones are just not built like that and just wouldn't do anything like that. That creates the suspicion. You know what I'm saying? Tony Bang, what's good, TB? You know what I'm saying? That creates the suspicion, man. At least it has me suspicious. That sounds like a cover-up. Definitely sounds like a cover-up.
(2026) 2 911 callers in Michigan reported a van driving erratically. Within an hour, police found a white van, crashed into it twice on purpose, and fired 27 shots at the driver while the vehicle lay on its side. It was also burning. At least 8 cops watched as 34-year-old Navy veteran John Genuine bleed out and died inside of the vehicle.
Oh my God. Oh man, that's toxic as hell. That is toxic as hell, man. Damn. Y'all shouldn't do anybody like this. Y'all did the wrong person like this, but you were intentionally trying to do a black man. You should be doing, it should be nobody doing anybody like this, man. Listen, the complexion of the person shouldn't even matter at this point. Everyone are human, man. Treat everyone as humans. Goodness, that's a little over. That's over the top right there, man. Why don't they show these type of stories on the news? Why aren't our governors and our presidents, talking about this stuff? Why not we addressing stuff like this in mainstream media? I just want to know. This is terrible right here, man. This is tyranny. Like, damn, they out here like got doggone vigilantes or something. Like, I don't know, man. They out here like they Batman or something. They police officers, man. Sad.
Of several inconsistencies in the police response, one stood out. The only physical description provided to the dispatcher was that, quote, 2 black guys were driving the van. And the caller said they'd brandished a handgun.
They all out had the wrong guy. So just because they identified a white van doesn't mean it was the right white van, and it wasn't. They did this to the wrong guy and then had to make up a story and lie to this guy's family. This wasn't even the guy that the caller was talking about. They called about 2 black people in a van that was driving erratic and brandishing a pew-pew. And the police approached the situation just like this on the first white van they spotted. And it wasn't even the van. It wasn't even the right van. This guy had nothing to do with it. He just happens to be driving a white van. That's man. God, man, this is crazy. This is crazy right here, man. I thought they'd do like investigations or something, or maybe look at the tag number or something. How do you get the wrong van and the wrong person? It took y'all an hour to locate a van and it was the wrong van. Yeah, they thought they were right. They thought they was doing this to 2 black guys. They already made their minds up. They was going to F him up. You know what I'm saying? And then they got the wrong van and did it to the wrong person. And well, he's definitely not black. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Boy, listen, man. Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Yep. Listen, I don't want to deal with no po-pos. It's just not good to deal with a po-po, boy. It is not good. It's not good to do with a po-po. That's crazy. They out here committing premeditated unalivings and presenting it as an accident by the pursuit of a criminal and act of violence, but there wasn't nothing. Yeah. They thought they had 2 brothers, boy. They was like, we gonna barbecue souffle mignon them mother suckers. We gonna cook them mother suckers. See, what we gonna do is We're going to flip the car over like we're going to be on that Denzel on Training Day type ish. We're going to hit him from the side. Wham! You know what I'm saying? We're going to watch the car flip. Then we're going to light it up like the 4th of July. Bah, bah, bah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they pulled out them Obamas, y'all. They pulled out them Obamas and they went brah, 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 27 times. You know, they missed 20 times, but 7 of them landed. So his brother bleeding out and the automobile is burning up. And y'all think y'all saving the family some funeral costs, but you really not. Y'all thought y'all was cremating the brother in the van, but it was the wrong person. Y'all did all of this to the wrong person. Wrong person. That's crazy. That's crazy. How do you explain that? And then you try to make up a lie to the family of the individual. Golly, boy. God, that's a hard pill to swallow. All right, let's see what happens here. That's a hard pill to swallow.
At his wife. However, the victim was white, driving alone and completely unarmed. That's not what police told the victim's parents, however, when they contacted them the following evening. Now, this was 17 hours after killing their son. Quote, "We were told that there was an exchange of gunfire and that John was killed." That's what John's father, Larry, told The Intercept. Call it naivete or whatever you want to call it, but our first thoughts were, oh my God, what did he do? Why did he cause this? End quote. They believe the cops. Their son, John, an industrial field engineer, traveling to repair $1 million lasers, just had his work equipment. No gun was ever found in his van.
Wait a minute, y'all. This man was driving while white, employed, and innocent, and he's no longer here. Driving while white, employed, and innocent, y'all, and he's no longer here. That's messed up. He was driving while white, employed, and innocent. He had nothing to do with it. Minding his business, going about his patriotic day. You know what I'm saying? Making his money. He just happened to be driving a white van. And now he's no longer with us. They had the family believing this. Why would he be causing something like this? You know that man ain't built like this. That man out here fixing satellites and stuff. That man ain't. God, that's terrible, man. Who are these cops? Are we gonna name the cops? Who are these robo-cops? Who are these robo-terroristic cops?
And the officers who caused 2 intentional collisions appear to have violated their own policies, which the department updated after the police killing of George Floyd, testing the limits of the post-2020 police reforms. Quote, come to find out, he didn't do anything to cause any of this, Larry said. He was not the guy they were supposed to be chasing, end quote.
Wow. Come to find out, he didn't do anything to cause any of it. He was not the guy that they were supposed to be chasing. Damn. Genuine, an industrial field engineer traveling to repair $1 million lasers, just had his work equipment. No GUN was ever found in his van, and the officers who caused 2 intentional collisions appear to have violated their own policies, which the department updated after the police unaliving of George Floyd, testing the limits of post-2020 police reforms. Come to find out, he didn't do anything to cause any of this, Larry said. He was not the guy that they were supposed to be chasing. He was not the guy that they were supposed to be unaliving. You know, because that was more than a chase. He was not the guy they were supposed to be unaliving. Can we tell the truth about it? Yeah, that's terrible. All right, y'all. All right, we're gonna shy away from now. We're gonna get into the real. Let's get into the reason why we're here. Okay, we're gonna start with the Dawes Rose Act. This is Lisa Cabrera breaking this down, but let's get educated. Let's get educated. What for is Lisa? Tell us about the Dawes Rose Act. Y'all go to Lisa Cabrera. Cabrera. Y'all go over to Lisa Cabrera. Yeah. Got the rolling R's. Cabrera. And y'all go subscribe. You know what I mean? Yeah. What you got for us? Lisa. Let go, Miss Lisa. Let go. Let me turn up this playback speed. And y'all know that I'm using people's videos. I have to, stop, put my own little narration on it. You know what I mean? My own little spin to it. Because I don't want to get hit by the fair use thing, y'all. Copyrights and stuff. Here we go.
And how white people of today are the natives. And not because they are real true natives, it's because they appointed each other to being natives and paid their way onto the Dawes rolls and will look you dead in the face and try to convince you that they are real natives. They're not, they never will be. And you got to look at how it's done even to present day. It's white people giving other white people Indian benefits. It's white people giving other white people Indian ID. And that blood quantum crap that comes from the white man. No Aboriginal or native tribe on this land ever needed any blood quantum. That was their way of trying to justify why they were Native Americans. Ladies and gentlemen, blood quantum was never a necessity. Never. It was them needing that. Prior tribes that were already on the land never needed no damn blood quantum. So in a nutshell, modern natives of today are white people that gave other white people Indian benefits and all the perks of being an Indian. That's all Native Americans are today. Okay. It has nothing to do with bloodlines and descendants. It has everything to do with, I got the money, so I'm an Indian. I got the money, so there's white people in the government that are corrupt, so they're going to help me be Indian. That's all it is. That's all being an Indian is in modern times. All right.
Better Brand Health Tracking is really based on the laws of brand growth that Byron Sharp has introduced in 2010, kind of 14 years ago by now, in his book, How Brands Grow. And from my that you can.
All right, if you are white.
So Lisa's just gonna get right to it. Correct. She just got right to it, didn't she? Well, there you have it. God dog. She jumped right into it, boy. I'm back on my apple juice, y'all. Yeah, she telling it right, but she jumped right into it, boy. She even bothered to warm the engine up. She just fired that thing up and she hit it, y'all. But she's telling it right. That's exactly what it is. And that's why I was bringing up the $5 Indian Act so much every time someone said that they were, of a certain lineage, of people. And it's important to get the truth out there. I was like, let's just tell the truth about it, That's why I named it live. Let's just tell the truth about it. This is why America is fading away to whitewash crimes. Yeah. And I'm not even here to be racist, y'all. I'm just really here to get the truth out there because this stuff is not taught in the school system. Think about it. We weren't taught this. Our kids will definitely never be taught this. They consider this woke. They consider this conscious. They're not So they'll never know the truth, y'all. Never ever experience the truth. As we come in, let's hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hit that like button. But no, we will never ever know the truth because they're not going to tell us this stuff. You know, and to think that they would tell us this when they're doing all of this to benefit from it, they're not gonna blow their own. They're not gonna blow. No, man. You don't blow the whistle on yourself. You can't snitch on yourself. So this is pretty deep, man. This is pretty deep.
And if somebody in the government got some applications for you to fill out, they can help you be an Indian. That's all an Indian is today. All right. So you getting an Indian ID from some white person in an Indian tribe is very underwhelming. Okay. That's not very impressive at all. Okay. That's not impressive at all. So you're going to hear some of these people making.
What I want to know is, how do you comfortably live with yourself knowing that you are lying about your living and benefiting off of someone else's identity? How does that work? Do you start dressing like an Indian and you start watching like Indian movie stuff to mimic what Indians do? Or how does that? I couldn't. I don't know how to be anything else but me. I couldn't. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. I mean, do you stop dressing a certain way and start dressing like them? And you, I mean, how does that work? And I noticed I've never saw an Indian in a church. I've never seen an Indian in a church. I don't even think they push Christianity on Indians, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I'm babbling. I don't know.
These claims, and it's just laughable. Y'all, you know, there's a reason when you hear them saying, I know I look white, but I'm really native. No, you look white because you are white. Okay. Okay. Let's cut this crap about, I know I look white, but I'm really a native. No, you look white because your ass is white. Okay. Let's cut the crap. Okay. Oh, I know I look white, but I'm really mixed. Okay. No, you look white because you are white. All right. And I bet when it comes down to getting some advantages because you look white, I bet you don't turn those advantages down. I bet you don't stand around and say, oh, I may look white, but I'm not white. I bet you don't say nothing then, do you? So get out of here with that crap. Get out of here with that crap. So natives of today are white people parading around as Indians. At the end of the day, that's what it is. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. But before I do get started, the sale.
I told y'all that, man. I've been telling y'all this. That's why I had to get on. Who was that Spencer guy yesterday, or Sean, whoever his name is? Yeah, that's why I was really laying into that brother the way I was, because he came in here like, oh, I'm Native American and I approve this message. He's telling the truth. First off, no, homie. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I couldn't let that go because I know history. That's why I kept telling him it's not to be disrespectful, but let's come back. Let's talk about history. And a lot of these people don't know that they're their great grandparents, or their great grandparents were involved in things like this. A lot of them don't know. It's just important to do the research. But it's crazy to think that you're all the way from Europe and you're assuming the identity of an Indian. But if we did your DNA, and DNA doesn't prove everything, but they always holler DNA, it wouldn't come back. No, it wouldn't. It'd come back Dutch, Portugal, German. You know what I mean? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't want to be anything but who I am. And now y'all see why, we were reclassified so many times. As we come in, let's please hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to jump back on this. Let's jump back on this.
Is still on over at Etsy of hair products. over on my lisacrafts.etsy.com and grab it up while you can at a discount. So the sale will end on December 24th. So now let's get to these Caucasian Indians that are supposed to be native. All right.
Nobody thinks about their AC until they're sweating in their own living room. And when it's time to call an HVAC company.
I'm thinking that's got to be on her end. That can't be on my end. Right, knowing about right, Johnny Walker, J-Dub. He says knowing about reclassification I would never trust.
You remember when white people falsely claimed Native American ancestry to get government benefits? Let's dive into one of history's most audacious identity heists. In the 1900s, the U.S. government started offering individual land allotments to Native Americans. This was meant to civilize them because nothing says civilized like taking people's land and handing it back to them piecemeal. But here's a twist. Many poor whites got...
Wait a minute. I want to read some of these comments. All right. Cherry Shortcake say, it's being watched in real time. Their real lies are coming out. They can't do anything that shows their origin of ethnic race or culture because there is none. They have no melanin in their bloodline. Exactly. Right. Ancestry is a fraud. It's been proven. Definitely been proven. I mean, this is why I like doing this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Because it educates a lot of us. You know, we hear people talk this talk all the time and nobody can show you proof. Nobody can show you receipts. Well, I'm showing you government official documents and acts that was passed. The Dawes-Rose Act was officially passed by the government in order for these things to happen. You know, I don't have to run to Google when I can go look up the very act itself, the Dawes-Rose Act. So if you want to have this discussion with people, pick up from the Dawes-Rose Act. Okay.
Wind of this and saw dollar signs. They started working with corrupt government officials to bribe their way onto the Dawes rolls, which were used to register Native Americans for just $5. $5 and poof, they're suddenly Native American on paper. Not only did this spark a black market for Native American identities, but Native American population numbers skyrocketed. Overnight, people became part of tribes they had no history with or no connection to. Meanwhile, real Native Americans watched as their identities, land, and heritage was swiped right from under them. That is the history of the $5 Indian.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really? What was happening before the...
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going... What was happening before the 1500s?
Now pause. I know the $5 Indian Act sounds racist, but how many times have y'all heard me mention the $5 Indian Act? And you know, J-Dub can answer that question by himself. Because J-Dub showed me in here busting up beside their head with the $5 Indian. So I told y'all, this is real life history, man. It's real life history. It's stuff that we all need to know. Instead of allowing people to tell you where you're from and you pretending that that's where you're from because they said that's where you're from and that's what the story that they made up about you says and that's how it goes. No, man. The lie should have quit when the internet hit. It's that simple. The lie should have quit when the internet hit. I mean, our government should have came out and made all kind of confessions, like some Usher songs, confessions. You know what I mean? When they knew they was about to release this internet. They should have took to the podium in the White House and they should have been like, well, look, everyone. We have major announcements. there's going to be this cloud of information coming out. You know, we're going to call it the internet. So before everyone gets themselves in an uproar and they begin to just think that everyone's against them and blah, blah, blah. Here's what we did. There's just some things we have to admit to. And then it's like, let's start with the black folks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is crazy. It's crazy, man. But it's necessary to know. It's necessary to know.
Down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from
Do you know what
Asia.
indigenous means?
Listen, before
Indigenous
America,
people come
let me
from somewhere
finish.
else.
Why do you ask a question if you're going to interrupt?
I'm not sure if you know what the meaning of indigenous means.
I do know what it means. It
Doesn't
means
sound
they
like
came here first, right? They came here from Asia by way of land bridge. Have an argument with Neil deGrasse Tyson or anybody else about that. I don't care.
Is he an American?
I genuinely don't care. Yes, he is.
Okay,
So
checking.
my point is, okay?
Nothing to do with crime. So far, you've agreed with me that these
Because
people
you're
are criminals.
derailing, dude. I'm trying
You
to stay on
literally
track.
sat down and asked me where I'm from. I think you
I
derailed this
think you got
conversation from the
offended by
get-go.
that, but I'm
It's not
always
offended. I'm
curious.
just wondering what it has to do with
I'm
crime.
always curious.
We're going to talk about
why-
immigration. Don't worry. Later on, you can come back.
I hope so.
Right now, you're doing a very bad job of making the case that he's not pro-crime.
I just
but
got a
pro-criminal.
round of applause. I could probably get another one actually if I asked for it.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm
Is this
doing
how
it
you
bad.
get rounds of applause? You sit in a room with 20 people who agree with you. Wow, amazing. Amazing. That
Well,
must
wait
make you
till
feel
this
good.
comes out. You know what? I'm
20
actually
people
glad
agree
you're
with
getting
you,
this
applauded you.
emotionally outraged right
Wow.
now. This is great.
I love it.
Do I have to say anything at this point, or are you just
Please.
going to keep going?
Please.
Okay.
Make your claim.
My claim is that I don't care if it's pro-crime. You want to go back to the topic of conversation?
That's fine. We agree then. He's pro-crime.
But
and
I
you
have
don't
a
care.
question for you, though. Do you care on the opposite side of the spectrum?
Yes.
Do you care about law being administered
Yes.
to the opposite side of the
Yes.
spectrum?
I think
when they're
anyone who
the same?
assaults a police officer shouldn't be pardoned. I think that Donald Trump shouldn't have pardoned 9 Republican members of Congress who were convicted of crimes, and I don't think Joe Biden should commit. I don't think Democrats should pardon Democrats.
Fair, but I don't
We
think you
both
understand.
You're about to lose.
I don't know what the hell I just.
Rick, check this out. I'm an attorney. I've been doing this for years. And I'm standing here because most people walk away from.
Yeah, so this is the dumbest fucking comment.
So did that white person in the last clip, did they say that he was an Indian? Would it say that he was an Indian? Are we going on features, or are we just going off of, like, because you have somehow done the paperwork to be considered? And that, how does they? Africans look like Africans. Asians look like Asians. Indians look like so how again, like, how do you assume the role of somebody? How do you assume the identity of somebody? And where the part, like, how? So he did say that? The guy with the curly hair said he was Indian? And he believed it when he said it? Y'all, if we went and told somebody that we were really yeah, I'm not gonna say that because it's gonna open it out. I'm trying to keep the racism out of here. I'm gonna start telling people I'm a black Asian. I'm a black Asian. That's it. I'm a black Asian. They better not dispute me. I'm a black Asian. They'll question me though. You know what I'm saying? They'll question me. I'll have to learn some Asian talk. I'll always be eating some Asian rice. You know what I mean? Every time they see me, I'll be eating like some type of Asian food or something. But no, who's gonna go through all that just to lie about their identity and assume somebody else didn't? I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So this is crazy altogether. That they actually try to live it out and believe the lie. They believe the lie. They believe the lie.
I've seen today. Congratulations, you win the prize. The white supremacy is so fucking narcissistic. White people genuinely create our own reality.
Thank you to
of
really
which nobody else
smart.
lives in. And white people lie to themselves all the fucking time in a way that can victimize us at every fucking turn, while the rest of the world that's rooted in actual reality looks at us and is like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
We are not indigenous to Turtle Island. Our nasty ass ancestors moved their fucking way across the ocean without washing their ass, showed up, spread disease and violence, and killed a bunch of people. Get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit.
Well, darn, buddy. That guy there, just tell the freaking truth about it. Why don't you, guy? He went right in, didn't he? Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Alicia. You know, but buddy went right in, didn't he? He went right in. He told the truth about it. See, and that's what I'm saying. That's how I be feeling when I'm having these conversations with them. But I man, is there something wrong with your mind? Are you closing your eyes when you look in the mirror? You know what I mean? There's no way I can be able to convince myself that I'm a Black Asian and actually try to take on the role, the heritage, and the culture, the identity of an Asian. No, that makes me a fraud. That also makes me uncomfortable in my own skin. You know what I'm saying? It makes me uncomfortable. So I just don't understand the measure of what they go through. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hit that like button, please.
See, this is why nobody takes you people seriously. Not even other white people that have a drop of common sense. You are genetic mutations. You shouldn't even exist. You only exist because we exist. Are white people genetic mutations? You are the weakest link of all the races. You can't even enjoy a good sunny day. Your fight is not with us, friend. Your fight is with the solar system. This centuries-old fight to be superior is why you are now the minority. It's why you are only 7% of the world's population. 7% of the world's population. 100% the root of all its problems. 0% accountability. That, my friend, is white exhaustion.
So here's a little fun fact about me. I am Cherokee. I'm Native American, if you can believe that. Like, can you believe it? Do I look it? Anyway, so I had to go get my tribal photo ID today because I'm flying to New York this coming Tuesday. How do I put this? I was definitely not the most Indian.
Wait a minute. They do actually believe his story. They do actually believe it. They can be Indians, but we can't. Look at that long blonde hair, y'all. Look at her skin complexion, but she Indian though. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Too funny. I be said he took the ancestry test, which is fake. It comes up with results in rotation, the same answers all the time. Straight with yeah. Oh my god, y'all. That was a good laugh right there, man. Hey, she look Indian to y'all. Does she y'all point out her Indian features, y'all. Not all at once. I need everybody to point out her Indian features, y'all. Let's point out her Indian features. Come on now. Point out her Indian features. See how y'all gonna do this? Y'all not gonna cooperate in class today. We're not gonna cooperate in class today. No one's gonna point out her Indian features. She has no Native American features. Surely she's got to have some. She's got a tribal card, y'all. She's got to have some. She's got a tribal card. No features. No, we're nothing. And not even her eyebrows, y'all. What about her eyes? Look at her lips. Those are definitely Native American lips. Don't y'all think so? That is definitely a Native American skin complexion. No? That is definitely Native American hair right there. No? The fact she was like, do I lick it? Do I lick it? You want to know a fun fact about me? I'm Indian. You sure? I've seen and know many Native Americans, and no, that is her feature. That bullshit. They believe they lies. Instead of her telling them, "Oh no, this got to be a mistake. Try again. This can't be true." She around here talking. Want to know a fun fact about me? I'm Indian. Oh my God, it's hilarious. Oh, breathe, sir. Oh, hilarious. All right. All right. All right. Let's get back to it. Y'all. Let's get back to it. This is fun.
But I got my ID. She cute. She cute. Hey, can you see it?
Planning to publish your book? You could reach 3 billion more readers. If you've written a book and you're thinking about publishing it, you have to watch this video. Hi, I'm Sarah from Spines.
I don't see one single fucking Indian. Those are white people.
Exactly. Like the one we just saw before that. She's like, I got my card. Oh, she cute. She cute. You not even. They don't pay $5, y'all, to be a pretendian, y'all. They just giving away our land, giving away our resources, giving away our identity. They are just not happy with who they are. I don't see not one Indian either. At this point, I'm starting to question what the hell an Indian looks like. You know what I mean? I don't know what. Hell, how the Elon Musk would be the best example of an African American. I think I don't even know what an African American is. I'm confused. Like this whole, we are having an identity crisis, and I think it all started with the rainbow community. Not everybody confused. I don't know what I'm looking at when I'm looking at it, because what you're looking at may not be what it is. I don't know. But let's see. Let's check on the pretendians, y'all. Let's see.
People, who's a pretendian and who's not. All I do know is people that I was just looking at are not Indians. Those were white people wearing costumes, 100%. Did you see that man makeup? See, the costumes don't even look like they belong on you. Let's start there. Just like in them old movies with the Egyptians, they got the white people dressed as pharaohs and shit. That shit looks so crazy because those clothes don't belong on them. You get what I'm saying? So I want to know who is the real pretendians and who are the real Indians. Why is it that the hierarchy and the high representation of all these tribes are just fucking white people? Who's a pretendian and who's not?
Why is there more whites in tribes than Native Americans?
He was principal chief of the Cherokee Nation. Why is more white people in these tribes than there are so-called Native Americans in these Native Americans?
Let's see. The real Alicia Barnes says they want to be down. It's everything to be melanated. You have magic in your DNA when you have melanin. Remember that saying, black girl magic? That's why they would cannibalize us back in the day. Man. So for y'all that didn't believe it, for y'all that didn't know and wasn't aware of what was going on, here you go. But I haven't showed you how this affects us yet, but I'm just introducing you to the knowledge of the Dawes Rose Act, because there's going to be some things to follow this that this inspired. So I need y'all to understand this first. All right, so for those that say, oh, it never took place, it's not true. Yes, I'm showing you, you're hearing it, you're seeing it. It is very true. And your government and these public schools are not going to teach this stuff. And you're racist if you look it up. You're racist if you talk about it. This is how they, this is the way of the world right now. When actually you just want to know the truth. You're curious.
Americans are the real true Indians of America. Why is he important? Because he is the first elected principal chief of the Cherokee Nation in the 20th century.
What?
Can I get an amen? White folks didn't come into these tribes as far out Indian. White folks created these tribes. What we just found out, these tribes are not tribes. These tribes are chartered corporations. These are businesses, and white folks created these businesses. Right here, we're looking at William Keeler. He was the first elected corporation. These are businesses.
All right, y'all. We got Jake from State Farm. Let's go ahead and get him out of here. Even went so far to cannibalize black men. Penises, we know why.
No different than the colonies were chartered to do what? Business, which became states.
Imagine being in a room where someone says that white people are Native Americans, and then everyone in that room cheering and clapping.
It's about tribal warfare. That's where we're at in the U.S. I don't know where you're at in the UK. You're from India, so I don't know. I'm not from India. Oh, you sorry, your parents are from India. Yeah. So I'm an American you have citizen. Your own states. I'm an American. You're an American citizen? Okay, fair enough. I don't know how you got that, but fair enough. Here's the thing. Are you an American citizen? Absolutely. Okay. But here's the show how you got that. Born here. Okay. Born here, and my family lineage is settlers from the 1500s, so I have some stake in the claim here. Okay? Sure. A little different. You're a descendant of immigrants. I didn't know. Colonialists. Yeah, colonials. You know, very Native American to me. I am Native American. Whites are Native American. No. What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans. Really? What was happening before the 1500s? I think you're getting confused with it.
What? That's exactly what happened.
Why would they clap? Why would they clap? Let's get through this ad first.
Jelly Roll and Carter Faith live across North America. Get tickets now at postmalone.com.
Wait a minute. Let's stay right here for a minute. Post Malone and didn't they both cosplay the black culture and rap music, and now they're doing country? Didn't they both cosplay black? Wait a minute. Didn't they both cosplay black music? Yeah, I knew who Jake was the minute he walked in here.
On the Jubilee video, one progressive surrounded by 20 far-right conservatives, and I am drained from watching the first 10 minutes of this video. But this clip is so insane that they really believe that white people are like, how do we go anywhere from here? I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. It's just so insane that their ancestors committed genocide on Native Americans, And now they're claiming to be Native American. Like, bro, help.
Yeah, some Native people are racially white, just like some Native people are racially Black. Native people look all kinds of ways because phenotype, race, is not a distinguisher of tribal affiliation. When people say things like this is one way to know that people aren't in Native community, because folks that are in a Native community do know that Native people look all kinds of ways. I'm a citizen of the Choctaw Nation. That is
what? Did she say she's a citizen of the Choctaw Nation? You know what I'm saying? Did she say that? Did she say that? Listen, that fool just looking for some smoke. That fool mad because he can't grow locks. You know what I'm saying? That fool mad because he can't grow no locks. He can't assume my identity. He can't assume my identity. He can't do that. Did she just say she's Choctaw? Did she say that? She didn't just say she's Choctaw. Hold on.
Genocide on Native Americans. And now they're claiming to be Native American. Like, bro, help.
Yeah, some Native people are racially white, just like some Native people are racially Black. Native people look all kinds of ways because phenotype, race, is not a distinguisher of tribal affiliation. When people say things like this is one way to know that people aren't in Native community, because folks that are in Native community do know that Native people look all kinds of ways.
No.
I'm a citizen of the Choctaw Nation. That is not a designation of.
Stop it. Just stop. Just arrest her. Stop. No, you do look like, yes, race and all of that has something to do with, yes. What is about? Yes. If you're native to somewhere, you look that part. Come on, man. What is she talking about? What is she talking about? Where did these people get their history from? Nothing she said made sense. Absolutely nothing that she said made sense. Y'all listen to this word salad one more time. One more time. None of that made sense.
People look all kinds of ways because phenotype, race, is not a distinguisher of tribal.
Yes, it is. It is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Boy, put this is along the lines of the dumbest I've ever heard in my life.
Affiliation. When people say things like this is one way to know that people aren't in Native community, because folks that are in Native community do know that Native people look all kinds of ways. I'm a citizen of the Choctaw Nation. That is not a designation of.
The Choctaw Nation is not a melting pot.
Exactly.
There's a reason why when you go back in the census, that back in the 17 and 1800s, when you look at the census, they look like us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's why in one census they were classified as Choctaw, and then 10 years later, in the 1800s, they were listed as Negro, colored. You know, that's what they were listed as. The Choctaws were not a melting pot of all different colors. They were not a rainbow of colors like this woman is trying to tell us. I guess she thinks the census don't exist, and we don't know what these people were. And see, that's the thing about these Caucasians that are all claiming modern day Indians. I guess they think the census don't exist from back in the day. That shows us exactly who these people were, especially when they were reclassified. Okay, I mean, they were not.
I've had enough of this. I already have her link in the description box if y'all want to check out the rest of this. We're going over to talk about the census now. We'll go over and talk about the United States Census. I couldn't bear to watch that anymore. I think this is all mental health. You know what I'm saying? We think the words are laws and changes everything, including their origin. Right. That was like a whole bunch of word salad. That made no sense. No sense. Golly, boy, they quit to try to argue with people, man. They quit to want to argue with you, tell you where you from, and they don't even know where the hell they from. They don't even know where the hell they going. God, dog, it must be rough. It must be rough, man. All right, y'all. Last thing on the list. Since we brought up the census, you know, I just wanted to enjoy some history this morning, man. I wanted to put everybody on to some history, man. You know, you got to know your history. Got to know.
To get it off, but
I made their archive. I'm like, I'm coming across these sources in my research, and I'm like, yo, people have location.
Okay,
guys, real quick.
Let's go back.
In early census years.
Let's go back. Let's go back. Man, must be.
Yo, Stefan, how you keep it so healthy? It's all in the wrist. Come on, give us a hint. It's all in.
It's gonna be an ad with everything.
Ancestry.com to schedule a consultation.
They don't want you to remember this. You not no slave, you indigenous. Fuck how they painted them Indians. You went to war with the French and the British, man. Quite frankly, you was kings, Merovingians. They took the women and men, made them prisoners, raised up the children to worship their images, set up a lab to the genes, and they mixed them, and this shit get way deeper than your.
Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And let's get on with the content. Now, guys, tonight we're going to deal with one of the biggest cover-ups, probably one of the biggest cover-ups in American history. And I'm not exaggerating. You'll see what I mean by that in just a moment. You see, the subject is this. Federal census agents reclassified American Indians to Negro. Not accidentally, not randomly, systematically. Through policy, through paperwork, through law. And once the ink dried, your ancestors didn't just lose a label, they lost land, they lost sovereignty, they lost treaty protections, they lost inheritance rights and tribal recognition. And their descendants automatically categorized as Black, then African American. That's how paper genocide works. It doesn't need a battlefield, it needs a clipboard. Now, let's start with the census. The US federal census is treated like gospel by modern genealogists. People assume that if it says Black in 1880, then that's biologically true. No. The census was a political instrument. Enumerators were given shifting racial instructions every decade. In early census years, categories were fluid. Free persons, slaves, whites, other persons. Indian was often excluded unless taxed. That right there tells you something. If you were considered not taxed, you were invisible to the count. If you were not taxed, you could be absorbed into other categories. That created a funnel. Entire indigenous communities, especially in the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic, were administratively pushed into mulatto, then colored, then Negro. And once that happened, every child born inherited the new classification on paper by a census agent.
But yet we still trying to get reparations wearing a made-up title of an African American. And you wonder why they laugh in your face. They like, okay, well, they still far off. These people still don't know who they are. They're still doing this under African Americans. So we ain't got nothing to worry about for a few 300, maybe 300-400 more years till these people figure it out. Think about how dark those Indians had to be for them to reclassify them as mulatto, Black, and the N-word, y'all. Just imagine what they look like. And they've written us off, y'all. You don't know what a real Indian or real Native American looks like now because everyone's been cosplaying the life and ethnicity, the culture of an Indian. This is absolutely nuts, man. This is disturbing. Just to take people's land. Because they left Europe, they needed farmland, they needed all of that stuff. So, yeah, they're on a land grab, man. They were on a land grab, y'all. To assume the land, even if it means assuming your identity, I guess that's what they did.
Who might not even know your community. Now let's talk about one of the most blatant examples. You've got Walter Ashby Plecker, registrar of Virginia's Bureau of Vital Statistics from 1912 to 19.
Oh yeah, so I was ran into one of my buddies yesterday. I used to work out waste management with. And we were holding a conversation talking about lineage, and the brother was probably as dark as me. You know, he's about to be 60 here soon. Brother starts spitting his whole background. Oh yeah, my mom's side was this and that tribe, this, you know, this tribe, that tribe. On my father's side, it was this tribe, that tribe. And my grandma's, I was growing up with my grandma, you know, we was on a reservation. He was born on a reservation. That brother is as dark as me. That brother knew all of his history. Like, he was an Indian, but the world would consider him Black or African American. Brother in the cut was full blood Cherokee Indian, but the world considered him Black or African American. Thomas Jefferson was a Potomac Indian. Jesse Jackson was Cherokee Indian. I don't know why it's so far-fetched to picture Black people as being Indians. Why could we never heard that before? Why? Because we're used to everybody else cosplaying as Indians. Why? Because everything about us has to lead back to Africa because that's how they want it. Everything has to just lead back to the continent of Africa. BS. What part of Africa? You know how many states and countries there are in on the continent of Africa? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You know how many countries are on the continent of Africa? Pick one.
This man weaponized paperwork. He enforced the 1924 Racial Integrity Act in Virginia, and that law created the one-drop rule in its most rigid form. You see, it legally divided two different categories. That's all. People, no matter how complex their heritage or their genealogy, they were now divided into two categories, white and colored. And guess what? Under Walter Plecker's enforcement, there was no legitimate space left for Indian unless you were on a very short list of state-recognized tribes that he barely tolerated. Plecker literally sent letters to county clerks and hospital administrators instructing them to reclassify people claiming to be Indian as colored. He targeted communities like the Monacan, the Chickahominy, the Rappahannock, the Pamunkey, the Mattapony. He accused them of being mixed Negro, trying to pass as Indian. He ordered birth certificates changed, marriage licenses altered, death records corrected. Families that had been documented as Indian for generations suddenly appeared as colored in the 1920s and 1930s. And that's not genealogy. That's sabotage. That's paper genocide in real time. And once your birth certificate says colored, your children inherit that designation. Your children inherit it. Fast forward to the mid-20th century, and now the descendants are called Black or African American with zero mention of the erased tribal identity that was sitting in the previous century's records before Plecker's pen was involved.
And this is all part of the government-funded, government-engineered Erasure Act on our people to assume our land, our history, our identity. Here it is. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I have this link in the description box as well if y'all want to go check this stuff out. I'm not really going to stay on it too long, but I just wanted, y'all already got the gist of it. You already have the gist of it. You know, this is nothing y'all have never heard before on my platform. But now this gives you knowledge. It gives you a search engine. It gives you a way to go to learn more. Okay? So you can't say that this stuff don't exist because now I've shown you. Now it's up to everyone else to do the work and to come along. To do the work and come along. It's not so hard to believe now, is it? Because you're seeing it. And once you know what a group of people are capable of, I mean, you no longer doubt their capabilities. You don't doubt, you know what I'm saying, the extensive measures they would go through to sell their lies, to believe their lies, to persuade and manipulate other people. Once you know your enemy, you know your enemy. You know who you're dealing with. So no, it's not far-fetched at all.
That's one state. Now,
It's your life. Pack in all the things you love, like Breakstone's Cottage.
now multiply that mentality across the South. In North Carolina, you see Lumbee ancestors labeled Indian in one decade, mulatto in the next, colored in another. In South Carolina and Georgia, you see Catawba, Yamasee descendant, Creek adjacent families move from Indian to free colored to black over time. In Alabama and Mississippi, you see Choctaw and Creek descendants listed as mulatto when convenient for county recorder. You see, the federal census didn't operate in a vacuum. It reflected local racial politics, and local politics were invested in reducing the number of legally recognized Indians. Why? Because Indians have treaty rights. Indians have land claims. Indians have sovereignty arguments. Colored people under Jim Crow, they ain't got none of that. See how that works? Reclassification wasn't about biology, it was about jurisdiction. If you erase the Indian category on paper, you erase federal obligations. So now let's talk church records.
Wow.
You see, missionaries and local churches often follow state racial.
That brother just broke it down and told you why. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to pay them, and then they don't have to honor those peace treaties, those land treaties, those government treaties. No nothing if they just reclassify everyone as color. Their treaties originally were with Native Americans, Indians. But if no one is classified Indian anymore, then what treaty do you have to uphold? So paper genocide, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike Lane, Mike TV. You know, this link is in the description box as well. I've enjoyed this, y'all. I can't really get my phone to cooperate with me, but this is the way I have to do it from here on out. So scroll, forgive me. But this is why I've been trying to make as much extra money as I can so I can upgrade equipment and things. So now everything's coming back to bite me in my rear. So it's like my numbers are going to go down regardless, you know. It's okay. As long as some of us get the message and we do what Jesse Jackson said and keep hope alive. We should be all right, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, with that being said, y'all know what to do, man. Get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one with the real indigenous, internal, spiritual Most High. Stay prayed up, stay blessed up, stay meditated up and protected. Stay real, stay conscious, stay uncut. Be inspired. Be great. And no matter what, be you. I say, ladies and gentlemen.